talk about Rodrygo, because there's been a big report that have said Rodrygo's rejected a very tempting offer from Man City because he wants to succeed at Real Madrid. And also, the club aren't open to selling him anyways. Now, we all know that Rodrygo does have a release clause. And he just signed a new contract, I believe, like less than a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. So, how I view it is, if you want to buy Rodrygo, activate that €1 billion release clause, because I do not want to sell Rodrygo at all. And I'm glad that he rejected a move to Man City. Now, for those of you who may not know, Rodrygo is my favorite player at the club. I think this guy is an absolute baller. I think Rodrygo is one of the best wingers in the world, and I think that he is very important to our success. Now, something that I do want to call out with this report is them saying that his intentions was always to succeed at Real Madrid. I would say that in Rodrygo's like 5 to 6 years that he's been at this club, I think that he's been very successful. And I think that he's been a part of a lot of our success. If it wasn't for him, do we beat Man City that one year when he came off the bench and scored 2 goals? If it's not for Rodrygo, right, do we score some other goals in important games? I think he has been a success at Real Madrid so far. Now, we all know, right, he's been getting linked with the move to Man City for a while now. And I do think that there is potentially something in this deal in terms of wherever there's smoke, there's usually fire. And we all know that Pep Guardiola is a long-term admirer of Rodrygo. And I definitely think that the second half of this season is going to be a huge indicator on what Rodrygo possibly does in the summer. Because we know that he was dropped, right? A few months ago, when we were struggling, Rodrygo was dropped from the team. Carlo Ancelotti had to experiment with the lineup. You saw us often run a 4-4-2. In that formation, there's no room for Rodrygo, right? Because you're playing Mbappe up front with Vinicius. And with the addition of Mbappe, let's just be real, chat. Rodrygo is lower on the pecking order. Now, I don't think he should be, right? Because Rodrygo has done more for Real Madrid than Mbappe has. And I know Mbappe's just come in, but that's just me saying Mbappe should not get any priority or any privileges over Rodrygo. Again, how many Champions Leagues has Rodrygo won so far? How many La Ligas, Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, while all being a starter, while all playing a big role in those competitions? So Rodrygo, to me, he should be starting week in, week out. And I do think that if by the end of this season, right, if he's not an established starter, I can see Rodrygo possibly thinking about making a move. We know that Man City right now, they're struggling. Man City's form this season has been awful. They have fallen off a cliff, right? They just won 4 Premier League titles in a row. And now it looks like they need a major rebuild. Their attack is dead. They don't have that much creativity. They're not scoring that many goals. Their wingers are ghosting. Phil Foden, what's happened to him? Savio, a player that I rate very highly, he's not performed the best. They got Jeremy Doku. They got Jack Grealish. Man like Erling Haaland's up front. He doesn't contribute. Their midfield is shit. Kevin De Bruyne's been injured. His hamstrings are made out of Swiss cheese. Rodri out for the season. Man City are free-falling at the moment. Like, their form is so bad, it's damn near relegation levels. And I think we are about to see Manchester City spend a lot of fucking money. And this is why I am a bit nervous. Because I always say it, chat. At Real Madrid, we will never see the best version of Rodrygo. because Rodrygo is a natural left winger. But at Real Madrid, he has to play on the right. So Vinicius is the left winger, right? And if Vinny's not there, then it does open up a way for Rodrygo to play on the left wing. Or now that Carlo is there, and that, well, not Carlo, but now that Mbappe is there, I mean, maybe there'll be times when Mbappe plays on the left wing. So again, we're never going to get the absolute best out of Rodrygo because in a majority of his games, he's never going to play in the position that he prefers to be in. Now, I think left wing Rodrygo is very different to right wing Rodrygo, right? Left wing Rodrygo, top 3 winger in the world. He is phenomenal on that left wing. And I think there will be a lot of clubs who are looking at the situation at the club at the moment and saying, well, if Rodrygo is low on the totem pole, maybe we offer him a move and we can let him play on the left. So that does make me nervous. And I'm very happy that Rodrygo's form has picked up lately because, again, I need him to be starting games. But you guys have saw, right? Against Rayo Vallecano, he got a goal and an assist. Against Pachuca, I believe he got a goal, if I'm not mistaken. Against Sevilla, he got a goal and an assist. So I say all that to say Rodrygo's form is picking up. And hopefully he can force his way back into the 11. I believe he needs to start. I believe he's one of our best attacking players. I actually think that Rodrygo is as talented as Vinicius, as Mbappe. I really do, chat. But he has to take a step back. He's not going to be the main man. But this is where I can see it possibly being a problem. Because if Man City come in with the offer, I think if you want to sign Rodrygo, right, without having to pay his release clause, because let's be real, nobody is going to spend $1 billion, okay? I was just joking when I said that earlier. I would like that to happen if somebody wanted to buy him, but come on, no player is worth €1 billion. Let's just be real. $1 billion is fucking nuts. I think it would cost around 150 to like 175 million to sign Rodrygo. It would be in that range. Now, you guys, as I said, City are struggling. Their attack is dead. You put Rodrygo on that left wing in that Pep Guardiola system. This guy would cook. What about if, for example, Bayern Munich come in for him? Bayern Munich, they need a left winger. Now, if I was Rodrygo, and if I was no longer a part of the starting 11, and if I don't want to come off, because I think Rodrygo is too good to sit on the bench. And if I'm thinking about a move, I think Man City, that does seem like the obvious choice. But as I just said, right, what about Bayern Munich? Their left wing is dead. Their left wingers are Leroy Sané and Serge Gnabry. Imagine Rodrygo at Bayern Munich on the left wing. Imagine a front four. Rodrygo on the left. Jamal Musiala in the 10. Michael Olise on the right. Harry Kane in the 9. Chat, that would arguably be the best attack in Europe. Because I'm telling you, if this guy decides to leave Real Madrid, he walks into every team in the world, Rodrygo does. Except for ours, apparently. So, look, I think selling him would be a massive error. I'm telling you, chap, because he'll go to Man City, Bayern Munich, PSG, Arsenal, right? And he would turn into a Ballon d'Or level player. I'm telling you this right now. The Rodrygo that we see right now is a very limited version of himself because his potential is immense. And he's very underrated. He's very disrespected. The fact that this guy didn't even finish in the top 30 nominations for the Ballon d'Or is ridiculous. I remember when I saw the short list that came out, and we ran through that shit. And I could tell you about 20 players, 15 to 20 players on that list that Rodrygo is better than. And I think all these things might play into his mind. And he might say, yo, if I want to get the recognition that I deserve, maybe I have to leave Madrid. Think of it very similar to like Neymar. When Neymar was at Barcelona, everybody knew Neymar was a baller. Now, I'm not comparing Neymar and Rodrygo because I don't think there's any player right now in the top 5 leagues who's anywhere close to prime Neymar. But I'm trying to give you a parallel situation. Neymar's at Barcelona, right? They have MSN, one of the best attacks that we've ever seen. I know that most of us are Madrid fans in here, but let's not lie and act like MSN was not fucking amazing, okay? So just picture this. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. Neymar's the young guy in the crew, right? Neymar is being overshadowed because he's at Barcelona, which is Messi's team. Now, everybody would have said back then, why the fuck would Neymar leave Barcelona? They won the Champions League in 2015. They're scoring goals for fun. They're winning La Ligas. Because let's be real, right? I've seen Barcelona win more leagues than I've seen Real Madrid. The league, yes, we have more than them in our history, but since I started watching in 2014, I've seen Barca lift it more times than us. Point is, he's at a much bigger club, right, than PSG. He has a better team than he would at PSG. He's playing alongside Messi and Suarez. But what happens? He leaves. And why does he leave? He left because he wanted his own team. He was tired of being in Messi's shadows, right? In the UCL. You guys remember that amazing comeback that they had against PSG? Neymar was probably their best player. But who got all the praise? Messi. So Neymar's thinking about it like, yo, I'm never going to get to be able to be the big dog here because it's Messi's team. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up with Rodrygo is because it's very similar to what Rodrygo is going through, right? Rodrygo, very talented player. One of the best wingers, in my opinion, in the world right now. But it's Vinny's team. And then now you've just added Mbappe. So now everybody's talking about Vinicius, Mbappe. In the summer, if you guys been watching me since the summer windows, how many times was I arguing on live streams with people saying to sell Rodrygo because we don't need him anymore, Mbappe's here? If you think players don't factor that in, I think you're wrong. Now, again, I don't want to sell Rodrygo, but I think the second half of this season, depending on what Carlo does, is going to indicate whether he does possibly leave or not. But I think he would be an excellent signing for any team that will put him on that left wing and play him there consistently, week in, week out. They are going to be getting a world-class player. So, again, I would not sell Rodrygo. He's the best Bengali player that we know. But I would be kidding myself if I didn't think that he didn't want to be the main man somewhere. I'm pretty sure that he has higher ambitions than just being in Vinny's shadow. Now Jude's shadow, Mbappe's shadow, Valverde's shadow. And let's be real. As I said earlier, he's already won multiple La Liga titles, Champions Leagues, Club World Cups, UEFA Super Cup, Copa del Rey. He's won everything that there is to win at this club. He's accomplished it all. I think he possibly would look at a new chapter if he keeps getting overlooked in this team. Players care about that, chap. So that's why I bring up the parallels between him and Neymar. But let me know what you guys are saying. How much would you sell Rodrygo for? And let me know, would you even sell Rodrygo? Because we do need a natural right winger. It's not that much of a priority, but we can see the lack of positional awareness on that right wing. Like, for a majority of our games, unless Arda Güler is starting on the right, it gets abandoned completely. Like, even when Rodrygo starts on the right wing, I would hope that he could have learned that position better by now. He's been here for a long time. but he still always drifts inwards. He drifts towards the left. He feels more comfortable on the left. I can't blame him because that's what he is, a left winger. So, look, our attack is not a priority for me in the summer window. But if you let Rodrygo leave, possibly, right, then you do have to go out there and sign another attacker. You would have to. But hopefully he doesn't leave. I'm just trying to say, I know a lot of people, they always just dismiss whenever one of our star players are being linked with the move. But I'm saying just don't dismiss it so fast, right? I think that there are different ways that you can think about it. But as I said, I'm glad that he's rejected a proposal from Man City. But I don't think that they're done. I really don't. I think that they will come back for him. I think Bayern Munich will come in for him. Maybe not PSG, because I think that the relationship between Real Madrid and PSG are so broken down. But if I was Rodrygo, I would definitely listen to offers from at Man City or Bayern Munich. And look, we all know Rodrygo is Man City's owner. This is Mr. Champions League himself. So City are probably like, fuck it. Whenever we play against him, he cooks us. So we might as well go buy him. And we can let him start on the left wing. Because City's left wing is dead. Jeremy Doku, trash. Jack Grealish, I rate him, but he's not as good as Rodrygo, and he has no output right now. So who knows, guys? But yeah, get in the comment section. Let me know if you would sell Rodrygo. And then if you would sell him, how much do you think you'd sell him for? But I definitely do think that clubs are going to be tempting him. I'm not going to lie, chat.